Bring in Guy Benson, host of the Guy Benson Show on Fox News Radio, and Mark Penn, former Clinton advisor and CEO of Stagwell. Great to have you both. I mean, Mark, Donald Trump is practically an open book compared to with what he wants to do compared to with the new positions that Kamala Harris has put forward through her spokespeople. What do you think is going to happen if she finally does this interview? I think she might do fine in the interview, but I don't know if they're going to get a lot of specifics.
Well, I think it's going to expose the answer to that question. Are there a lot of specifics there? I don't know what kind of interview people do in these last couple of days here that's going to be meaningful and set up going into the Labor Day weekend. I suppose everything gets pushed online. But look, I think it's unacceptable for candidates to go this period. In my book, there should be 3 presidential debates, not 1. There should be position papers, not a donate page on your website. And you should be before the press every 2 or 3 days. Yeah. Because if voters are not informed, then it's not a democracy with real votes.
Well, and also, if you become the president, that's the way it should be as well. Guy, I want you to listen to Tom Cotton. He was on ABC's Sunday Show with John Carl yesterday talking about Kamala Harris's health care policies. Watch here.
Kamala Harris, who has supported things like decriminalizing illegal immigration or giving taxpayer-funded health insurance to illegal aliens or taking away health insurance on the job for 170 million Americans.
What are you talking about?
She said when she ran for president that she wants to eliminate private health insurance.
That is not her position now.
How do you know that's not her position? How do you know that's not her position?
I mean, she said she no longer supports Medicare for all.
She has not said that. Okay. Maybe anonymous aides on a Friday night have said that.
I mean, Tom Cotton had that right off the top of his head, Guy.
Well, he's absolutely right. Tom Cotton is simply repeating back the words of Kamala Harris. Last time she ran for president, just a few years ago, she had an opportunity to build from the ground up her vision for the country and how she would govern. And a centerpiece of that campaign was outlawing private insurance for 177 million Americans. In her own policy briefing, in her own platform, that is what she said. She said, let's just get rid of all of that and move on. She was a co-sponsor of Bernie Sanders' bill in the U.S. Senate. So when a journalist tries to say, oh, well, she says ... about some change, supposedly, of heart on that question, Cotton is right to really hammer away and say, no, she hasn't said that because she hasn't said virtually anything of substance about anything at all, let alone in a lengthy sit-down interview, which we may or may not get in the next couple of days, 37 days after Joe Biden was forced out of this race. It's embarrassing.
There was also an appearance by the vice presidential candidate on the Republican side, J.D. Vance. He was on Meet the Press talking about a middle-class tax plan and Kamala Harris. Watch.
There's this whole thing that Kamala Harris did at the convention where she made a bunch of claims about what would happen and not enough actually reflection on what already happened, right? Because Donald Trump was already president. When Kamala Harris says, if we do the thing that Trump already did, it's going to be way worse than it was last time, I just don't think that makes a lot of sense.
There's going to be an economic debate of some sort, whether it happens in person or in the media or online. And who do you think has the upper hand at this moment on that, Mark?
Well, look, obviously Trump and the Trump campaign have an upper hand. About 2/3 of the people are unhappy with the current state of the economy. They're very unhappy with about the 20% price increases that they're facing. I don't think either side, though, has put forward a clear economic plan so that you really understand. I know that there's going to be no tax on tips now, apparently, regardless of who wins. But that's hardly a serious economic plan. And again, it's part of this dumbing down of our presidential campaigns that's rather disappointing.
Give me your best 15 seconds, Guy.
I think the Harris campaign is trying to change the rules of this debate that they've agreed to because they want Donald Trump to interrupt their candidate so she can have a viral I'm speaking moment. That's what's going on here.
Guy Benson, we're going to listen to you on the radio today. Maybe we'll see you on 20 other shows as well this week. Great to see you both. Thank you so much.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.